Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and continuing our A to Z sewing technique series. Today we're going to learn how to do a New York hem. This type of hem is usually used whenever you are trying to alter a pair of pants, and more specifically whenever you are trying to alter a pair of jeans and make them shorter. This is a great hem to use on jeans specifically because usually if you look at your hem of your jeans, you'll notice that there's some discoloration, some fading, some distressing going on. And typically you'll find that whenever you are trying to shorten a pair of jeans that you will want to use this technique just so you can keep that hemline intact. Once you know how much you want to shorten your pants, go ahead and cuff them up and pin them in place, and you're going to pin them along the sew line of your pants, not on the fold line, because remember, we're going to keep that hem, so whenever we sew, we're going to be sewing directly below where that seam line ends. So go ahead and once you have them pinned, try them back on and just double check that they are going to be the right length, because you will not be able to go back once you cut off that excess. And here I'm showing you to kind of give you guys an idea of what my finished hem is going to look like once it's done. Now, to get as close as possible, I suggest using a zipper foot. It is going to allow you to stitch pretty much right in that crease, which I personally think looks better. Some people don't mind it, and so they'll stitch a little bit further away from that crease, but I think it looks best whenever it is right on that line. So that way you have the smallest amount of bulk and not too much space between your original hem and the next row of stitching. Once you stitch your new hemline, you can go ahead and cut off the excess. Personally, I like to leave it until the last minute. That way I still have the option to change my mind if I don't like the length that I chose in the beginning. The next couple of steps are what is going to make your alteration look like it is original to the garment, so they are very important, so don't skip these steps. But the first thing that you're going to want to do is to press your excess fabric up. Whether you've cut it off or not, you're still going to want to press it upwards. And we're going to do a top stitch and try and match the original top stitching as best we can, and this is going to create a more cohesive look and make it look like the original pant. If you do want to go ahead and cut off the excess fabric before we do the line of top stitching, then this is the time to do it. I'm just using my pinking shears today, which is perfectly fine. It'll keep the fabric from fraying. But if this was a real project, I probably would be using a serger, or I would use my sewing machine and overlock the edges. Any of these methods are fine as long as you are taking care of the raw edges, because you definitely do not want to leave them raw and not pinked or something before you throw it in the wash, because it will fray and you run the risk of ruining your project. If you're using this hem on a pair of jeans, then I suggest getting jean top stitching thread, and all it is a thicker thread, and they are more in the traditional jean color, so this is like kind of a deeper gold color that's really typical on a lot of pairs of jeans. This particular hem that I'm showing you guys has a different color in it, but you would probably want to find something that matches, or at the very least coordinates well. Something else I really recommend you guys do if you want to match the original top stitching is to use a reinforced stitch. And all this is going to do is make your stitch line look thicker than what it would look like if you just did a regular running stitch. Typically, the kind of stitching that you're going to see on most jeans is going to be thicker than the thread that you can find most of the time, and so this is kind of a cool little cheat, so you don't have to go out and find even thicker thread that your machine maybe can't even handle in the first place, because we don't want to get our tension discs messed up on our sewing machine. So I really recommend using the reinforced stitch. Another thing that you can do is to test out before you start stitching on your jeans, and just make sure that the stitch length that you're using is similar to the one that is original to your project. As you can see on mine, I skipped this step and it does not look as good as if the two stitch lengths were the same. Now you guys never need to pay a tailor to alter your jeans ever again, and you never ever have to worry about stepping on your jeans and creating holes in the bottoms because they are too long. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to check out the rest of the videos in this series.